7,000 technology-enabled businesses in 2014 to a projection of more than 11,000 by 2020. It's not for nothing then that India is seen as one of the leading players when it comes to technology-enabled businesses anywhere in the world. Winning Pitch, brought to you by Wadhwani Foundation, is helping to accelerate the passion of entrepreneurs pan-India by providing funding and mentoring, two factors crucial to the growth of any businesses anywhere. On tonight's episode, we're featuring 4 companies with technology at their core, all looking to impress our jury at the Southern Zonal Round. Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform for small businesses. This year, we're very excited to bring to you Winning Pitch, brought to you by Wadhwani Foundation, a reality TV program where India's best entrepreneurs come and pitch to the biggest jury members and investors. Tonight, on this special part series, we will show you who the final 4 shortlisted contestants are, who've made it forward to our finale, and also what the jury had to say to them when it came to their business strategies and ideas. Take a look. To help us on this journey in the Southern Zone, we will be joined by technology entrepreneur Rostow Ravanan, co-founder Phonepe Rahul Chari, founder Exfinity Ventures V. Balakrishnan, serial entrepreneur and investor and partner growthstory.ink Ganesh, founder and partner 100x.vc Sanjay Mehta, and MD Inventus India Samir Kumar. This jury will decide the contestants for whom the doors to endless opportunities get opened. On previous episodes of Winning Pitch, brought to you by Wadhwani Foundation, we've shown you the 16 contestants who pitched to a jury in an attempt to secure funding. Many of them managed to capture the interest of our investors. Can the final 4 contestants change the game and manage to win over our jury? Let's see.
This is great initiative.
Home Inspector uses a combination of trained people and the latest technology to inspect properties to check if they're fit to occupy. Take a look at their pitch.
Today, millions of homes are handed over every year in India. And there is one thing that is common to all of them, that they have issues. Whether it be flooring issues, whether it be seepages, or whether it be electrical faults, it is guaranteed that your new home will have these issues, right? Now, there are consequences of these issues, right? If they are not found and fixed at the right place, at the right time, then there are consequences. So that is where we come in. We are the guys who find these issues. And what we've done is we use the right blend of people and technology to find these issues, okay? So our people are certified. We have tied up with Internachi, which is an international organization of home inspectors in North America. We've actually opened their India chapter. And our guys are qualified. We use the latest tools that are normally not used in construction. We use like moisture meter and things like that to actually find out these issues. The business model is predominantly home inspection service. We offer a service, and the people who benefit from it, the home buyer, the interior designer, these are the guys who pay for such a service. All right. So, and you can see that we've been succeeding year-on-year growth. We've been demonstrating year-on-year growth with our home inspection service. In fact, we've done about 3,000 plus inspections over the last 2.5 years. And the point is that for every inspection, we save for a customer on an average about 100,000 rupees. And considering that he pays us about 10,000, there's already a 10x return on his investment on the inspection.
In terms of, you said the technology of generating PDF is not available. I couldn't get that sentence. What is that PDF generation? What is so big about it?
Good question, sir. So what we are saying is the end-to-end. So today, when the home inspector goes there with an iPad application, the ability to take down the data, to take down pictures, to annotate them, and then sync this data with the cloud, and then basically generate a PDF out of it, that end-to-end experience is not available in the home inspection context worldwide.
So nobody is doing that function, you want to say?
Nobody uses the technology. What they do is they use a phone, camera phone. They go home and they sync their photos and they take about 3 hours to generate a report. We have basically reduced the 3 hours into instantaneous reports.
So how much an architect or interior designer would pay for this service?
So our average ticket size is about 9,000 to 10,000 rupees depending on the size of the house. But that is for the home inspection service. So 9,000 is our average ticket size for a 1,200 square feet house.
How does your technology help you, for example, to identify that there is likely to be seepage? Because if it has not rained in the last 1 month, how will you know that some construction fault exists and you'll find seepage there later?
So very good question, because like Sudhi pointed out, 60% of, 65% of houses where we have dampness issue. One critical factor is these are not so much dependent on external factors. For example, like you said, if it doesn't rain, doesn't mean that there is no dampness. The dampness could be because if the groutings in the bathrooms are not properly done, through the construction process, the water that is absorbed below the tiling takes the capillary action and moves on the wall. And what we use is moisture meters. We don't rely on the naked eye. There are tools and equipment that we use, which is moisture meters or the clamp meters or the slope detectors, which will tell us what all the anomalies or the deficiencies that are there, which people would come to know before they take possession. So a typical inspection is about 2 to 3 hour process where one civil engineer and one electrical engineer as a team that goes, because in the US it's one-man army who does everything. Whereas here, because we are catching up with an industry which is 20 years ahead of us, so we send a team of 2 people who are internationally qualified, so they know what to do, like the Internachi that we mentioned. They spend those 2 to 3 hours of doing the work using tools, technologies, and then whatever the data, for example, on a 1,200 to 1,500 square feet, there are about 1,000 tiles. Unfortunately, to check the flooring, there are no scanners. There is a specialized mallet where every tile has to be knocked and checked for hollowness, grouting, chip-off, and every of that point has to be taken. That's where the app or the technology comes in, where we take those pictures, annotate it, and when the PDF report goes, there is amount of compression that is required because a typical inspection carries anywhere about 150 to 200 images for different issues. Each, when I take an iPad about 1 MB, I am in no position to send 200 MB report. So typically it's about 6 to 8 MBs where these images are in a thumbnail form. When you click it, it takes to the AWS server and the actual resolution can be seen. So the output is a PDF report that you get. And then we are available as consultant because the customers then take it to the builder to get it addressed and then the follow-on if they need follow-on services.
In case you are not worked with HomeLane or HouseJoy Construction, I'll connect you to them to be able to do that.
Very, very helpful. Thank you very much.
Digital Shark technology enables universities to set up technology labs at their campuses.
In the factory scenario today, when everybody is trying to get smart and connected, there are various pieces of hardware and piecemeal solutions of software cluttering the whole scenario. How about a single piece of hardware and one software stack that can address multiple use cases across the whole factory, decluttering the whole scenario? Presenting to you iRay. iRay is a complete integrated industrial IoT platform adhering to Industry 4.0 standards, aiming at increasing the factory output by 20%. It consists of a complete hardware device applied for patent, which is pluggable to several devices, be it a very modern system or a very old legacy system, which is fed to an AI-driven dashboard which learns, so they totally help us to connect, collect, analyze, interpret, act, learn, and then continuously improve. That's the whole stack. Now, the industry market size, 310 billion by 2023, overall CAGR 37%. So we are planning to step into the IoT space also with this device going forward, addressing small, medium, large, and even micro industries in its totality. This is how iRay fits into a factory. Interfaces between machines, whether it's a modern CNC machine or a legacy system or even sensors and appliances, feeding the data over the cloud where it is learned or even an on-premise, depending on data security and other issues, right? Touchscreen, multimodal, has multiple inputs and outputs, analog digital for multiple connectors, inputs and outputs. Then it talks about all famous protocols, wireless, Bluetooth, RS-232, Ethernet, and all in one shot. And it has an inbuilt camera and a motion sensor, which is what is applied for patent, which records any moving objects in its vicinity of 120 degrees, right? It is supported by an AI-driven dashboard running on various ensemble algorithms at the back end, where it learns and allows and sets the machine to the next order. It is also supported with connections to ERP integration and other dashboards where your inventory stock management and other end-to-end solutions on a manufacturing execution solutions floor is all integrated together.
All right, thanks very much for that. Let's hand it over to the jury on that.
What is the actual problem you're trying to solve for a, and this is for a factory, like a plant manager or somebody in the factory, what does he currently not have, and after implementing your solution, what is the benefit that he's going to get?
Right. Right now, the factory machines and outputs are all manual. It is operator driven, and it is not connected to central intelligence on how it has to behave based on various parameters. We are connecting, interpreting the data, and getting the systems to work accordingly where your production output is controlled, operator is told about your temperature, vibration, and other characteristics ahead of time, predictive maintenance and other elements all put in together where even your supply chain efficiency, where your inventory is getting over, you get just-in-time resources for the factory to be efficient in almost getting to the 100% efficiency rate. That's what we try to do with the factory, which is currently not in place today.
Fantastic.
All right, thank you for the jury. Thank you guys. Thank you, Karthik.
Let's live on a short break on that note, but we will continue bringing all of the in-depth action from the southern zone of the winning pitch, brought to you by Wadhwani Foundation. Back in just a moment. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow presents Winning Pitch, brought to you by Wadhwani Foundation. In this episode, we're bringing you the final shortlist who've made it forward here on the Southern Zone leg of India's biggest reality TV program for entrepreneurs. Workstation enables entrepreneurs to build their brands through technology and social commerce.
There are thousands of hobbyists in India who are looking for monetizing their art, and that's what makes our supply side quite strong. On the demand side, we basically target the millennials. I mean, even if you take an example of 50 cities of India, top 50 cities of India, there are more than 60 million of these millennials who can be targeted for these kind of products, which are into categories like fashion, home decor, accessories, and stationeries. So that's the solution which we provide to them. We provide them an online marketplace wherein they can create their shops and sell their products. We give them a retail space. We have 3 retail outlets in Bangalore. We have a secret sauce called Smart Page. Basically, a Smart Page is our social commerce platform, which is built by our internal team, which allows them to make promotional pages, in a number of promotional pages that can be shared on their social media, because most of these sellers have a very strong presence in social media. So we're trying to target their social media followers by using Smart Page as a social marketing tool. We also provide them support like shipping, manufacturing, financing, etc. And if you look at our revenue model, I mean, we get 23% from online. Print on demand is another service which we offer them, wherein a lot of these creative people do not have end products, but they have designs. So we ask them to submit the designs, we can print those designs, and various products can be sold in the market. So even if they don't have products, they don't really have to worry about them. And on the retail side, we charge them 40% margin. We don't invest in any of the inventory. Inventory comes free of cost in the retail. That's a very interesting model for us. It's been a fantastic journey last 2 years. We have about 21,000 customers now. This year's current ARR is going to be 1.5 crore for us, and we have 3 retail outlets in Bangalore.
Santosh, out of time. Thank you so much. Over to the jury for your questions.
What are your current revenues like?
This year we'll close at 1.5 crore.
And how much will be retail, how much online?
Right now, the online side we just launched last month.
So bulk of it will be retail.
Most of it is going to be offline this year because website got launched in November, the app got launched in December.
Okay, and you said retail is profitable, offline is profitable.
Yeah. Every store gets profitable in 4th or 5th month patch.
In terms of online, when we launched online since the last month, we have already registered 250 sellers since the launch, which is 52 to 2 days right now.
Which is almost 50% of what we did in maybe last few months. I mean, just 1 month we did that. What 50% of what we sellers. Did last few months.
Okay, I guess. Thank you so much. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you very much. Res Ipsa is looking to organize the legal system in India. Take a look.
As you know, legal is a mess. It is a mess at all dimensions. We can talk at length about the various dimensions. Therefore, the problem I'm trying to solve can be variously described as democratizing the access to legal, or more simplistically, justice delayed is justice denied. Better documents equals faster justice. And for the lawyer community, stare decisions on steroids, basically. But in Res Ipsa, I basically translated it into English and say, is there an opportunity to move offline, relatively offline business onto an online marketplace type of platform? That's the intention. And I intend to do it with a series of machines, series of small tasks. Legal, as you know, is a series of small tasks, repeatable tasks, over and over and over again. And that culminated into over 25 million cases backlogged in our system. Drafting. Every legal issue is a drafting. Every legal issue is a research discovery. I intend to teach machines with 1 million documents through supervised learning, unsupervised learning, regressive learning, and then apply it to any new petition that comes into the system. At least we get to an 80% solution on the judgments. It typically takes about 30 years for any outcome. I would like to collapse it to 3 days.
All right, it's over to the jury then if they have any questions.
I still haven't figured out what the actual solution is. You said the problem is Indian legal system is a mess. That I think all of us will happily agree. But what are you doing to solve the problem?
Make the documents generated faster. Lawyer takes, let's say, 2 weeks to generate a petition. Lawyer takes about 20 days to generate what they call as counter. The other party takes about 2 months to generate what they call as counter to counter and prosecute. So the feedback I have from the industry is if we make more beautiful documents, the case's disposition can be faster.
But all the lawyers will lose their revenue because lawyers are all on a time and material contract. So they want to take that time because they can bill you for it.
That is a risk, a valid risk. I do not want this to replace lawyers. I do not want this. That's a valid risk. I haven't cracked the code yet. So far, the lawyers are a friendly community to me. They're actually paying money to do this. But at a scale, I'll probably call you and just help me out. How do I do this? The intention is not to replace lawyers. Every interaction in the legal industry is a relatively physical layer interaction. You got to go to the lawyer's office, you got to look. And increasingly, all my NRA friends have a need to access the legal system. So I'm trying to figure out if there is a room for some level of technology intervention into this industry.
So where do you use the AI and ML?
How do you do that?
State decisions on steroids, basically our law is all about precedent. When a high court actually dispositions a case in a certain way, the trial court has no option but to actually follow it in that state. And we have crores and crores of check bounce cases, for example. The check bounce can happen only in a few reasons, a fraud or bad check or something like that. I'm teaching the machine with 1 million data sets, 1 million data points on check bounce, for example. And then any new check bounce case will be applied to the machine to automatically give us a possible disposition in this case.
So you have built a repository of all the past cases?
Yes.
All the cases?
Over the next 3 years, I'm manipulating 86 million documents. Right now, it is 1 million documents.
Million?
Yes.
It's all the levels, to the High Court, Supreme Court, to the
Yes, sir. Because Government of India is spending extensively on digitizing our records. Here I'm just putting an intelligent engine. My cost of goods sold is near zero.
No, let me understand. You are not creating a depository. You are using somebody's depository, build an AI engine on top.
Correct.
That's what you're saying.
And then transaction enabled, payments integration, security integration, other authentication. That's why iStack is where I hope to ride on.
Thank you,
Thanks for that,
Thank you so
Narendra.
much.
As we're ending tonight's episode, take a look at the final score tally of who's leading and who's not from amongst the 4 contestants you've seen just now. Also on your screens, you'll see a red and green button, a green button indicating a favorable response from our investors when it comes to an intention to invest. It's also time to unveil the final 5 winners of the Southern Zone of Leaders of Tomorrow Presents Winning Pitch, brought to you by Wadhwani Foundation. These are the shortlisted candidates who managed to impress our jury with their unique business ideas, strategies and models. The final 5 winners from the Southern Zone are Tinkerbell Labs, EarthSafe, Home Inspector, Astu Eco and Think Tank. The Southern Zone of Winning Pitch was a huge success. Let's hear from our jury about what they had to say about the quality of the pitches that they saw that evening.
The pitches in South Zone finals that we saw was very nice. What really impressed me was the way the entrepreneurs used technology, data, IoT, internet in general to be able to solve basic core problems.
No, all of them were very articulate. They had done a wonderful presentation within the short period of time allocated to them. But I think some of the pitches could have been much sharper, articulate the complex issues what they are trying to address and what will be the impact and what is the value that will come to the client. So it could have been much more sharper if possible. Otherwise, they have done a wonderful job.
This is a platform that's extremely useful in many ways. One is, of course, it gives investors like us exposure to startups and conversely exposes startups to investors like us. But more importantly, seeing the sort of pitches, most of the time in my investment experience, people who are given 4 minutes take 40 minutes. They are not able to compress their pitches within the time given to them. And here, bulk of them finished it in 4 or 4.5 minutes. So obviously there was mentoring that went in, there was some coaching that went in, and whether they get funded at the end of this program or not is not so important. I think this mentoring, coaching, this expertise or the guidance they got in pitching will help them whenever they are ready to go and pitch to investors. It will be a big value to them.
The pitches today were really, really great. All the entrepreneurs were very passionate. And what I really liked was a lot of us talk about solving for Bharat. The entrepreneurs today, a lot of them actually had thought about Bharat and were solving for India at scale. The number of initiatives that had high social impact was very, very endearing.
Very innovative, very passionate. So good feeling at the end of the day today.
It's been a photo finish here on the Southern Zone leg of the winning pitch, brought to you by Wadhwani Foundation. On our next episode though, we will bring you up close and personal with the finalists making it forward, their highs, their lows and their entrepreneurial journey to becoming one of India's biggest and best entrepreneurs. Do stay tuned. Coming up on the last part of the special series, a closer look at the 5 finalists who've made it forward on the Southern Zone.